Hi, kids. A little perfume. Ready? Welcome to Peri, Lyons, New York City celebrity psychic. I hope you've had a fantastic week. And we're taking callers pretty early today. I just wanted to say a few things before we start. One is that every week I notice that when I read for clients, there are different issues that come up, but they're the same issue across the board. I work with a lot of very highly evolved people who work, and I found that everybody who calls into the show is highly evolved. So people like you tend to be a little more attuned to kind of what's going on in the cosmic atmosphere, so to speak. So in the past week, what I've been noticing is that a lot of people are kind of between who they used to be and who they're about to be. And sometimes they're having to let go of people who they realize, if not toxic, are not growing and supporting them. And as we grow, and at this point, I know that everybody who listens to this show, it's not an accident. You're somebody on the right path and somebody who's very aligned with your higher self. But sometimes as we grow, we can outgrow old roles that other people have for us. The writer Henry Miller once said, "When you exceed your known limitations, do not expect the approval of family or friends." And these are words to live by. So if you find that you're getting more aligned with your truth and the people around you are maybe a little uncomfortable or maybe reacting to that, there are three things you can do. One is just learn a meditation, get a meditation app, do something in the morning, even if it's just following your breath. Sometimes I use an object, like I have this beautiful vintage paperweight, and I'll just stare into it and let my mind float and be aware of my breath. You can borrow the paperweight if you're in the neighborhood. The second thing to do is remember you're taken care of. You're much more protected than you know. Everything's going to be okay. And the third thing is, sometimes when toxic people leave our lives, it's painful at the time, but when we look back, we're like, whew, dodge that bullet. And there'll be better people. It's like when you declutter your house, you invite in prosperity. When you declutter your social life, your spiritual life, I don't know what that is, emotional and spiritual life, it can feel painful at the time because sometimes we think our misery is our identity, and it's the exact opposite. So when we let go of our unhappiness, when we let go of old limiting beliefs, it can feel uncomfortable, right? But it's like cleaning. It opens this huge space for new friends, new prosperity, new opportunities. And so that's my advice. And we'll move a little closer here. I'm going to be doing a couple of shocking things. My New Year's resolution was to smoke occasionally, so I might have a cigarette, so if that's a problem, tough. I'm also going to have my once weekly glass of wine with you guys. And before we take callers, I'm going to quote a poem, which goes like this. It's a short poem. When it began, I wanted you to be who you are. When it ended, I wanted you to be who you were. I wrote that about 10 years ago, and I gotta say, it was a lot of times, last thing I'll say before talking to Lisa in Philadelphia, which is a city I love and have a great ghost story about. What I want to say is that sometimes when people don't meet our expectations of them, since we can't control them, sometimes we just have to adjust our expectations to what the reality is. And people always ask me, what's one of the ground rules for becoming psychic? And oddly, one of the ground rules is start noticing reality. I also wanted to show you guys my great-grandmother's locket, which has a little of a baby hair in it, which is a little strange, but okay. So everybody, as you get around next week, things are going to feel so much better. So just get through this week and remember that you're loved and you're beautiful. Okay? Hi, Lisa. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Do you mind if I have a cigarette?
Oh.
And put on some perfume. Second. And have some wine. Okay. So before we start, thank you for calling. Tell me what your birthday is. Don't have to tell me the date.
The year or the date?
Just the date. We don't do years around here. You don't.
Oh, okay. The 17th. 11/17. 11/17.
Cool. 17. Oh, you little Scorpio, you. That's a very intense part of Scorpio too. It's the most psychic part of Scorpio. And Scorpios, as you know, Scorpios, sometimes people think of them as like a little dangerous, which you can be, and a little mysterious, which you definitely are. But what you guys really are is incredibly loyal and very committed to finding what the truth is in any situation. So, hi. So what's your question today? Or would you like me to do an overall thing for you? Cheers.
Well, I was wondering, my nephew passed away back in April. I was wondering if you can connect with him, or...
Can you tell me his birthday?
12/25. Christmas baby.
Oh, God. First of all, I'm incredibly sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
Did he have a T name? What was his first name? I'm getting the name Timothy, which is not, I don't think his name, but I'm getting the name Timothy. Wow, he's very present. Have people in his family noticed any unusual activity around the house, like lights turning on and off, coins appearing out of nowhere, anything like that? He's got something. What?
I would have to ask, my sister. I'm not sure.
He's got some unresolved issues with her. There's something that he wants to resolve with her and apologize for. Although he's got nothing to apologize for, but it's funny, on the outside. Okay. On the outside, it feels to me like, a regular guy. On the inside, he's a very loving and very sensitive person. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't think he always let people see that side of him. Because I think...
Not much.
I think he was afraid people would mistake his kindness for weakness. And he was very invested in a guy, for lack of a better word. I also think, actually, I was going to say something about that occasionally he might have either been on medication or self-medicated for depression. Is that correct?
He did take stuff.
Yeah.
He was, yeah.
because he was so sensitive and just didn't, mainly he didn't want to burden other people with his troubles. Did he like cars? I'm getting cars for some reason. Or
I don't know if he liked cars. What? Oh yeah, my daughter's saying yeah.
Motorcycles. Okay, sorry. I don't approve of motorcycles, so my guide showed
I don't
me
like them
cars.
either.
No, well, my dad was an emergency room doctor, so that'll cure you of liking motorcycles.
Yeah.
Oh, he's it's funny. He will be entirely in the light soon. He's in kind of, not exactly a hospital, but he's in kind of a healing place right now. Where, as usual, he's helping others sometimes without even letting them know he's helping them. He was such a good guy.
He was.
I'm a little curious why he didn't know how bloody handsome he was. Because he's presenting as maybe not conventionally handsome, but like real charisma, like real like.
Well, we always tease him all the time.
About how good looking he was?
No, the opposite.
Oh, but that's an attractive guy. Was he about 27?
34.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, 34.
Yeah, and he'd been having a lot of relationship issues. Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing about what was his first name?
Chris.
And he was named after his grandfather? There's a lot of family. He was
born Christmas Day, so she named him Christopher.
Oh, I thought you said Frank. I'm sorry. Okay.
No, Christopher. Chris. Sorry.
Very interesting. Another thing about him is that he had a much stronger connection to spirit. I could even say he was more religious than he ever let on. He was a very bright light. He is very much around his mom, like all the time right now. When he fully transitions, he will still be with her a lot, but in a slightly different way. You can tell her for me first that I'm terribly sorry. But second, when she dreams about him, those aren't dreams, those are visits. That's him.
Okay.
I don't think she has told anybody about any of the phenomena she's noticed, but he is trying to sort of get her attention. It also feels to me like his father and he didn't exactly not get along, but didn't get along.
You got it right. They did not get along. Yeah,
no,
you were right when you said that. No.
It almost feels like they were too much alike in some ways.
Yes,
and
they were.
It's like, yeah. Oh God, his parents must be heartbroken. He has a sister?
Yes.
Wow, she's beautiful.